And then she opened the door and see her husband, her pastor, bent over, getting dug out by another man. Now let's get into this story. Today's story is about Lauren and her husband, Robert. Robert is a pastor at a very popular church. I mean, it's a big church with a lot of members and a lot of money. When you go into this church and you see everybody and how they dressed, it puts you in the mindset of a fashion show. Everybody dressed and impressed. The women with their big hats, the man with the nice shoes, the ties that comes in. He got a really nice church. And his wife, Lauren, she is that fine first lady who always styling, always front row. She step in when her husband need her. You know, the ones who runs the women groups and go to the shelters and step out for the sick and shut in at the hospitals or at home, the ones who can't make the church sermon. That's Lauren. Now, being that this is a popular church, a big church, a well-known church, the pastor gets a lot of attention, and not holy attention. He gets attention, lustful attention from the women, because not only is he a popular pastor and a well-dressed pastor and a well-known pastor, he a fine pastor. And all the women be hooting and hollering, "Oh, Lord, that Pastor Robert, I tell you, boy, oh boy, if Lauren don't know what to do with him, I sure do." And she hears this stuff, but she rebuke it, she ignore it, and she say, "Lord, just bless them with their own man so they don't have to be foaming at the mouth over mine." And she keep it pushing. Her husband has a regular routine. During normal week hours, he's practicing his sermon, or he's going to the gym, or he's going to the church for meetings for whatever thing they about to have planned for the upcoming month involving the church. But lately his routine been all over the place, and his wife can't keep up. So when she asks him what's going on, he'll say, "Oh, I have to do a guest appearance at another church," or "I'm working with another pastor for A, B, and C." He always got a reason. But being that she is behind the scenes and doing stuff to help him, she knows his regular schedule. She knows the upcoming meetings. She knows the programming and everything that involves the church. But lately, he been naming stuff that has not been on the church schedule. He naming other stuff that she don't even know about, but it's last minute. That's what at least he's telling her. Lauren's not dumb. And Lauren is constantly seeing these women throwing themselves at her man, at their pastor. So what does Lauren do? She hires a PI, a private investigator. Because she like, okay, even though this man is a pastor, he's still human. He's still a man. He still can possibly fall short of temptation. And a lot of pastors that she know being in this world does not practice what they preach. Half of them got side chicks, side families, doing shady, illegal stuff. And she was hoping that that wasn't Robert's case. But because of his behavior changing and his random scheduling errors and doing this and that, she had no choice but have her husband followed. The PI started watching him for some time. It's 2 weeks in, and the PI got a little bit of a schedule. He lets her know, "Well, your husband been going to this hotel, and your husband been meeting at this hotel and this hotel." So the pastor is changing locations. She like, "What?" He's at some hotels. And she like, "Yeah." And he like, "Yeah." She's like, "Did you go in and, see anything?" They're like, "Well, they're not going to give me no information because I'm not, with him or married to him or nothing like that. That it's against policy." And she like, "Okay, well, just keep on following him." So now she knows that he's been creeping off at hotels, even though when she's asking him, he's lying boldly, talking about he got this meeting at the church or he got this, that, and the other. Just bold face, just lying to her. After that, she started getting random calls. She'll pick up, she hear people breathing on the phone. "Hello? I hear you. I know you there. Are you going to say anything?" She hear a and the phone hang up. So she'll go to her husband and she like, I'm starting to get people playing on my phone. Robert would dismiss it. Oh, baby, it could be anybody. It could be the teenagers and the kids at the church just prank calling. You've been a teenager before. You probably did that too. And she's like, why would they just randomly start playing on my phone? Is there anything you need to tell me, Robert? Pastor like, no, why would I have anything to tell you? I'm not doing anything other than the Lord's work, etc., etc. She like, okay. The calls keep coming. She block them. They call from a different number. She block it. The PI is still making, a document or whatever of what he's been noticing, where the pastor been moving and going. The pastor starts switching up a little bit and actually following his schedule, because he's like, okay, people playing on my wife's phone. I need to chill out. The PI has nothing to report. The wife is like, okay, so maybe it's nothing. Maybe he has some type of conference or something at these hotels. It wasn't late at night. It was during the day, so I ain't got too much to trip about. Until one particular day, the husband says, baby, I got to go to this place, and it's just a male's conference. It's like a male building strength conference, etc., etc. Some super extra positive mumbo jumbo, he said to her. And she's like, okay, it's no biggie, because us women do that too. We do skill building and uplifting and self-worth programs and groups, etc., etc. So she wasn't tripping. And so it's getting closer to his male group, whatever. And the phone calls start back. She lets him know people are starting to play on my phone again. He like, well, baby, just get your number changed. She like, why should I have to get my number changed? He like, well, that's the only way that they'll stop playing on your phone, unless you block them. And she explains to him, I already blocked the people. They'll just get a new number. He's like, well, just change your number. She's like, too much stuff is attached to this number. Why do I got to change my number? And he like, well, I don't know what to tell you. Dismissing what she's saying. And so then, the closer to this male group thing, he start not really confirming stuff for her. She like, well, you got to be at this thing. You got to be at that thing. He just started moving shady again. And so she said to the private investigator, we got to start this back up, because he's starting to get a little shady again, closer to this male group thing he got to go off to. And the private investigator was like, well, I mean, we already know that he be going to hotels and stuff. I mean, I haven't seen anybody, but I'll watch him. And she like, yes, please do that. So on this day, the private investigator calls her up, and he like, I followed your husband to this hotel. It's not a hotel that I normally seen him at, that we discussed. This is a whole different hotel. And she like, how different? He like, this hotel look kind of like a hole in the wall hotel. And she like, no, Robert is a well-known, pastor. He got money. He wouldn't be seen in a place like that. And he like, well, he's here, and I just seen him walk in with some super tall woman with long black hair. And she's like, what? No, I need you to screenshot it or send me a video or something. Now, because he's already been documenting stuff that he been seeing that the pastor been doing, he was recording as the pastor was walking into the hotel or motel, those little down, not really nice motel, hotel looking situations. And so he sent her the video. And she like, oh, heck no. Now, Lauren is classy. She has to put on this persona as just the epitome of a good, strong, godly woman. But don't get it twisted. She wasn't always that woman. So she already was trying to fight the urge of the flesh to, turn up on this man, because she's supposed to be, classy, is reserved, and everything that, you see when you look at a pastor's wife. Bump that. Because she already thought he was playing games when he was switching up his schedule, and now the prank calls and going to different hotels, but he got excuse and the reason for all that. So she like, okay. She told the private investigator, I'm on my way. She pull up. She parks next to him. He points where he went through. She gets out the car. No hesitation. The private investigator, he just waits in the car. She goes in. She like, hey, my husband is Robert so-and-so. He told me to meet him there. The lobby person looking at her crazy because he just checked in somebody, but nobody named Robert. And he like, can you describe your husband? She pulls out her phone because, everybody has pictures in their phone, and she shows him. She's like, oh, yeah, a man named so-and-so just checked in under that name. Oh, she like, oh, he's so crazy. He must have used his middle name. And he like, okay, he's expecting you? And she like, yeah, he's expecting me. And the clerk is still looking crazy because he just went in with another female. And she like, oh, I understand why you're confused. He went in with somebody. I know that's just our thing. We're swingers. And the clerk like, oh, okay, I understand. Laughing, thinking all these little freaky thoughts. And he like, okay, he's in room 107. Here is the key. You want me to call up to let him know that you're on your way? She's like, oh no, this is the role playing that we do. I just want him to be surprised and ready to take all of this. She's just playing into it, but she's just pissed. Okay. She goes, he said, okay, go down this hall, turn right, turn left, down the hall, 107. She got the key, gets to walking down the hall. She stops in front of 107. She puts her ear to the door. She hear moaning, but it's like, you would think it's some dang on dogs up in there. Just bear growls. It's a whole lot of noise in there. She like, damn, what kind of man? What kind of woman is putting it on my man like that? Like, I ain't never heard him make no dang on sounds like that. Like, what in the world? And so now, not only is she like upset, she feeling a little insecure because she like, damn, this woman is bringing out all of this on my husband, and I ain't never heard him sound like this. So she ain't hesitate. She put that card in that door and she pulled it out and she opened the door, and lo and behold, her husband is bent over the edge of the bed, getting all of that tall black man with long hair. It was dressed as a woman. Yes, he was dressed as a woman, but it was a transgender woman. The pastor was messing around with a man. Lauren could not believe her eyes. She couldn't believe her eyes. The anger turned to betrayal and disgust and resentment and every other thing, because she's like, Robert, what the? And he like, you don't. He trying to gather himself, pushing the dude back, like, hey, get back. And the dude like, don't be pushing me. Don't put me up in this. This your business. I ain't got nothing to do with this. You knew what it was, Robert. And Lauren like, who is you? My name by birth is Daniel, but everybody call me Danielle. Nice to meet you. Whole time, the transgender is still naked. She trying her hardest to get over to the transgender, and Robert, still naked, is trying to hold her back. And so she get the fight. Get off of me! You up in here embarrassing me. You was a pastor at a prominent church, and you got the nerve to be up in here messing around with dudes. The same stuff you preach about is a sin. What is wrong with you? Going off, punching him, going crazy. And he's like, Lauren, just chill out. Let me explain. So she like, oh, them damn prank calls. He like, don't cuss, the Lord is here. He's like, oh, don't you bring the Lord up in this. You wasn't thinking about the Lord when you was bent over at the edge of that bed. You wasn't thinking about the Lord when you start entertaining men. You wasn't thinking about the Lord when you broke your vows and cheated on me, your wife. So don't you bring my Lord up in this. And he was like, I failed. I'm still human. And it was the flesh and it was temptation. And Danielle is like, don't you call me a sin. Ain't nothing we've been doing sinful. How you been sounding, how I've been making you feel. I don't want to, don't do that. And probably like, you just be quiet. You just get dressed and get out of here. This doesn't concern you. This doesn't concern you. And Lauren like, yeah, I'm going to need for you to go. Because this is between me and my husband. You just go. You just go. And Danielle is like, you know what? I ain't got time for this. Let me get out of here. Say less. And he leaves. Okay. Robert and Lauren are still up in there arguing, fighting. It's loud. The other people in the rooms is starting to be nosy and peek out their door. They see, you know, the transgender woman walking down the hall. It's a whole thing. And Lauren's just like, why? All this time I've been telling you somebody been playing on my phone. You've been switching up your schedule. You made me so insecure. And I had to hire a PI. You hired a PI. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't I do that? Is what she said to Robert. You ain't been honest with me. I watch your schedule. The church people know your schedule. You ain't been doing what's on the schedule. You ain't been being the places you're supposed to be. Why wouldn't I hire a private investigator? He tried to get out of it and made so many excuses back to it was the flesh and my temptation, and I failed as a pastor and as a man and as a husband, etc., etc. She said, you know what? You ain't even got to worry about this. Get yourself together. But it's done. We're over. I am hiring a divorce attorney first thing in the morning. I got enough information, so you might as well get your lawyer ready as well. What are we going to tell the church? What are we going to tell the church? No, it ain't no we. You wasn't thinking about we when you was bent over. You wasn't thinking about me, we, when you was at all these different churches with that man. You wasn't thinking about we at all. So we ain't telling them nothing, because I ain't do nothing. You're going to tell the church. You're going to tell the people. You're going to deliver this, because I'm not. I'm done. I'm stepping away. But what? You supposed to be up there by me, by the pulpit. But I don't care about none of that. It's over with. And Lauren walked out of the hotel. She cried, but it was what it was. She couldn't forgive him for that. The moral of this story is, if you are on the down low or in the closet and you're married to a woman, just step out the closet. If this is who you are, this is the life you want to live, be that person. Don't use the woman as, you know what I'm saying, a facade. Don't use that woman as a cover up. Don't just be yourself. Be if that's what you want to do, be yourself. Because for one, it's not fair. And as a woman, it's embarrassing. It's a betrayal. It's hurtful. It's a lot of stuff. And then on top of that, let's think about the body, the STDs that may come with it. I'm not saying, you know, people of that community, everybody got AIDS and stuff like that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, what if some people do? And you bring that home to your wife? Same thing as women. Women, you know, y'all ain't exempt. You know, if you undercover lesbian or whatever, be that. And leave that man alone, unless he into that type of stuff. But you get what I'm saying. Because too many STDs out here. I think I said it in another video. Too many STDs out here that you cannot get rid of. At the expense of trying to get your rocks off. Or not living how you want to live proudly. Or whatever. Just keep that in mind, y'all. If you made it to the end of this video, please hit the like button. Please leave me a comment to let me know what you thought of the story. And please subscribe. Have an amazing day.